For all of the teachers and healthcare workers, liberal teachers and healthcare workers that are saying that they're going to hide their students or patients from ICE, you do realize that is a federal crime, right?
No, not necessarily. You see, ICE likes to pretend that they have authority that they don't actually have. ICE will tell you that they've got a warrant, and they'll show you this thing that they call an administrative warrant. And an administrative warrant is make-believe. It's like if I wrote a warrant in crayon and then went to your house and knocked on your door and told you I had a warrant to search your house. So unless ICE has an actual big boy warrant signed by an actual judge, you don't have to comply with shit. You can tell them to go fuck themselves. No crime committed.
It is a federal crime to interfere or ignore DHS or ICE.
Again, unless they have an actual warrant, not an administrative warrant, a real warrant signed by a judge, you can ignore the shit out of them. You also have the right to remain silent. That's your right that can't be taken away even with a warrant. So if they need you to give them information to locate somebody they want to detain and you just shut the fuck up, again, that's not a crime.
It is also a federal crime to shield, harbor, or shelter an illegal immigrant.
Okay, that is true, but I don't think it's going to make the point you think you want to make, and I'm not sure you want to keep going down this road, but you do you.
It is also a federal crime for sanctuary city, so Democrat, officials to not comply with ICE or ignore ICE.
Oh boy, HO Adolf, you're getting cringier by the moment, aren't ya?
So if ICE tells you, turn these people in or stop building sanctuary cities, which they have, and that leader or official does not answer or comply, they can be held to a federal charge.
Ugh, you did not pay attention in history class, did you?
And it doesn't end there, because according to conspiracy laws, anyone who is an employee for that elected official or leader can also be held to a federal criminal charge. You cannot commit multiple felonies and not be held accountable for that.
People commit multiple felonies and you motherfuckers make them president.
You cannot shield someone who has broken multiple of our laws and not be held accountable for that.
I got a question for you. When you read The Diary of a Young Girl, do you remember the chapter and paragraph where you started rooting for the people in brown shirts? You know the book I'm talking about, right? The one where some people are committing federal crimes by hiding, harboring, shielding some illegals from the authorities. Really? You haven't read it? Well, you definitely should, because you would love the ending. Trust me, it is right up your alley. Also, do you like trains? Never mind, doesn't matter. The Underground Railroad was more about a metaphorical a railroad, if you will. Anyway, you should read that one too. Real relevant, because it's about these villains, right, who harbor and shield illegals from authorities while they smuggle them into sanctuary cities. And this one, will really get under your skin, because the person committing all of these federal crimes was a black woman named Harriet. You don't get more DEI than that, do you? Anyway, Auschwitz Annie, the reason that I'm telling you about these books and suggesting you read them is I think once you do, you'll get a better perspective about the people who you're trying to convince that they shouldn't do these things because they're federal crimes. You'll start to understand that they know that could certainly be the case, and they don't fucking care. Because you know what? Just because something's legal doesn't make it right, and committing a crime doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. Slavery was legal, and helping freed slaves was a crime. The Holocaust was legal, and harboring Jews was a crime. Schindler was a criminal. Segregation was legal, and not giving up your seat on the bus to a white person was a crime. So all you're doing when you come out with a video telling the whole world with your whole chest that it's a federal crime to help or harbor human beings, you're telling them that you would have happily ratted out Anne Frank, that you would have told the slave catchers where they could catch up with Harriet Tubman, that you would have been the one to call the police on Rosa Parks, and that you're too fucking stupid to even realize that that is what you're saying. So maybe there, little Miss Fourth Reich Raymond, you want to dust off some history books before Apricot Adolf bans them all, and brush up on what they say about people like you. Because if you want to end up on the right side of history, you might want to try being a little less alt-Reich.